Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a simple question. What if I told you that failure in business is optional? See, too many people are out here chasing trends when they should be building truths. Let's talk today about 4 businesses that will never ever fail, not because of luck, not because of chance, but because they're rooted in eternal principles and human nature. These aren't gimmicks. These aren't shiny objects. These are pillars. Pillars of value, purpose, and service. And if you can align with these, you will never have to worry about job security again. You become the security. People will always pay for transformation, not just information. This is one of the greatest truths you can ever understand as a business owner, entrepreneur, or visionary. We live in a world that is drowning in information. People don't need more PDFs, YouTube tutorials, or blog posts. They need change. They need results. They need someone who can walk them across the bridge from frustration to fulfillment. If you can become that bridge, you'll never lack income. You'll never lack impact. And most importantly, you'll never lack purpose. Because transformation is the real product people are buying, even when they think they're buying something else. Think about it. Nobody wants a treadmill. They want confidence, energy, and a body they're proud to look at in the mirror. Nobody wants budgeting software. They want freedom, security, and the ability to sleep at night without stressing over bills. Nobody wants a business course. They want to fire their boss, take care of their family, and live life on their own terms. The product is not the product. The transformation is the product. What separates a successful business from a struggling one is that the successful one clearly defines the transformation it delivers and relentlessly markets that transformation. It doesn't just say, we teach people how to lose weight. It says, we help moms drop 30 pounds in 90 days so they can feel alive again. That's transformation. It's personal, it's emotional, and people buy based on emotions, then justify with logic. You've got to tap into the pain people are feeling now and the pleasure they dream about later. That's the space where transformation lives. That's the space where you become irreplaceable. When you position yourself as someone who offers transformation, you shift from being a commodity to a category of one. Information can be Googled. Transformation must be experienced. And experience requires trust, process, and identity shift. The reason transformation-based businesses are so powerful is because they touch all 3 levels of change: behavior, beliefs, and identity. Behavior is what they do. Beliefs are what they think. Identity is who they believe they are. Most businesses stop at surface level behavior. We help you do X, Y, Z, but the gold is in helping someone become someone new. Let's talk about value. The marketplace doesn't pay for effort. It pays for outcomes. When you promise transformation, you're promising an outcome, not just a product. The bigger the transformation, the bigger the transaction. You can charge more because the perceived value is higher. If you help someone lose 5 pounds, maybe you charge $50, 0 cents. But if you help them go from overweight and insecure to confident and energetic with a new identity, you can charge $5,000, 0 cents. Why? Because transformation creates a ripple effect in every area of life. They eat better. They perform better at work. They show up better in relationships. The value compounds. And when you help someone upgrade their identity, they'll never forget you. That's how you build raving fans, not just customers. You also build resilience into your business model when you focus on transformation. Trends come and go, markets shift, platforms die, but human desire for change is eternal. People will always want to lose weight, make more money, find love, reduce stress, get closer to God, or be a better version of themselves. If your business solves any of those age-old desires at a transformational level, you will always be in demand. You won't be chasing clients, they'll be chasing you. Because transformation isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. And here's the beauty of it. You don't have to be perfect to offer transformation. You just have to be a guide. You don't have to be 10 steps ahead. You just need to be a few steps ahead and willing to walk with them. People aren't looking for superheroes. They're looking for someone who understands where they are and has a plan to get them where they want to go. Your scars become your story. Your pain becomes your purpose, and your journey becomes your product. That's what makes transformation so deeply authentic and magnetic. It's based on lived experience, not just theory. In a world of noise, people crave clarity. In a world of hype, people crave honesty. And in a world of surface level success, people crave substance. When you become a deliverer of real, measurable, internal change, you separate yourself from 99% of people who are just regurgitating information they heard somewhere else. Transformation requires you to actually care about people. It requires empathy. It requires listening. It requires systems that create predictable change. But when you have that, when you lock in your offer, your process, and your promise, you become unstoppable. Health is one of the most valuable commodities on the planet. And it always has been. Long before people worried about stocks, crypto, or side hustles, they were concerned about one thing: staying alive and feeling good while doing it. From ancient civilizations with their herbal remedies to modern billion-dollar pharmaceutical companies, the health industry has always existed and always will. Why? Because health is not a luxury, it's a necessity. When people feel sick, tired, or weak, nothing else matters. When their energy is low, when their sleep is disrupted, when their body is breaking down, their whole life suffers. So if you're in the business of improving health, whether that's physical health, mental health, emotional health, or even spiritual health, you're not just in business, you're in a mission that transcends economies, borders, and generations. The reason health-based businesses never fail is because they are built around a timeless human need, and not just any need, a survival level need. You can live without new shoes. You can live without a new phone, but you can't live without your health. And people will pay almost anything to get it back once it's gone. That's why health is not just profitable, it's sustainable. It's not dependent on trends or fads, even though some people try to turn it into that. The deeper truth is that at every moment, someone, somewhere is trying to solve a health problem. And if you can be the person, the business, or the brand that provides that solution with clarity, care, and competence, you'll always have demand. But here's where most people miss it. They think the health business is about selling pills, powders, or programs. It's not. It's about selling hope. People don't just want vitamins. They want vitality. They don't just want a meal plan. They want to feel alive. They want to run upstairs without gasping for air. They want to wake up without groaning. They want to play with their kids without pain. They want to look in the mirror and feel proud, not ashamed. That's what health is about. It's not just metrics on a chart. It's a feeling, it's identity, it's control. Because when people don't feel healthy, they feel helpless. And when you restore someone's health, you're restoring their power. Now let's talk about value. People will always pay more for something that protects or restores their sense of control. Health does both. That's why people will spend thousands on supplements, trainers, coaches, and programs, not because those products are expensive, but because not having their health costs them more. Lost productivity, missed moments, emotional pain, medical bills, confidence issues, relationship tension. The cost of poor health is almost always higher than the price of investing in wellness. So when your business clearly communicates not just what it does, but what it protects people from losing, you create urgency, relevance, and irresistible value. There are layers to health, and each one is an opportunity. Nutrition is one, fitness is another, mental wellness, sleep, stress management, energy optimization, gut health, hormone balancing, emotional resilience, aging. Every one of these is a billion-dollar subcategory. You don't need to master them all. You just need to find the one you care about most, the one you've lived through, struggled with, or seen firsthand, and go deep. People don't want a generalist who sort of knows how to help. They want someone who has walked through the fire and come out with answers. That's how you build trust. That's how you build authority. And that's how you build a health business that doesn't just last, it leads. There's also a spiritual aspect to health. You see, when people feel better, they live better. They serve better. They think clearer. They have more capacity for growth, for giving, for loving. So a business that improves health is not just changing bodies. It's changing legacies. Children grow up with more present parents. Marriages get stronger. Communities get healthier. Workplaces get more productive. This is ripple effect business. You touch one person's health and you're impacting everyone connected to them. That's why this kind of business has moral authority. It has soul. It's not just about products. It's about purpose. People are tired of being treated like numbers. The traditional health system makes them feel like a file on a desk. They want someone who sees them. They want someone who listens. So if you build your business around personalized care, real results, and authentic service, you'll stand out instantly. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a scientist. You have to care. You have to be competent. You have to be consistent. And you have to commit to the transformation of the people you serve. Because health isn't just an outcome, it's a journey, and people are desperate for someone who will walk that journey with them. You can also future-proof your business by paying attention to the shifting landscape of health awareness. People are waking up. They're no longer content to wait until something breaks. They want prevention. They want optimization. They want performance. This is the age of proactive health, and the marketplace is hungry for solutions that help people thrive, not just survive. If your business helps people build a better lifestyle, not just fix a crisis, you become essential, not optional. You position yourself as a guide to lasting wellness, not a temporary fix. And that creates not just a customer base, but a movement. Money isn't everything, but when it's not right, it affects everything. People say things like money can't buy happiness, but a lack of money can buy stress, sickness, sleepless nights, and broken homes. Money touches every part of our lives: where we live, what we eat, how we spend time with our family, the schools our children attend, the healthcare we receive, the dreams we pursue or abandon. That's why any business that helps people master, manage, or multiply money will always be in demand. The desire for financial peace is not new, and it's not going away. As long as people need to eat, live, and build a better life, wealth-based businesses will thrive. The business of wealth is not just about giving people money, it's about giving them control. When someone learns how to build wealth, they stop surviving and start designing. They start building their life with intention, not reacting to it out of desperation. This shift from reactive to proactive is where power is born. Most people don't want millions of dollars just to have numbers on a screen. They want what money represents: freedom, options, time, legacy, contribution. That's what they're after. That's what they're really buying when they invest in a financial coach, attend a real estate seminar, or take a course on investing or credit repair. They're not paying for information. They're paying for access to a new level of living. There's a reason the wealth education industry is one of the fastest growing on the planet. Traditional schooling teaches you how to earn a wage, but not how to build wealth. So people graduate with degrees in debt, but no idea how to manage their money. That gap creates massive opportunity for any entrepreneur who can teach people how to move from financial confusion to clarity, from lack to abundance, from paycheck to prosperity. You don't need to be a millionaire to help someone. You just need to know how to help them take their next step. There are people drowning in financial chaos who would pay you well to throw them a rope, if your rope is strong and your message is clear. What makes the business of wealth even more powerful is how many different paths you can take. Real estate, investing, credit repair, tax strategy, budgeting, digital assets, side hustles, business funding. These are all vehicles to help people arrive at the same destination: financial independence. And the beauty of it is that every one of these vehicles has an audience, because everyone is somewhere on the journey. Some are trying to escape debt. Others are trying to build passive income. Some want to retire early. Others want to leave a legacy. If you find your lane and speak directly to that group with precision, empathy, and a solid process, your business becomes a lighthouse in a sea of financial fog. The emotional weight of money cannot be ignored either. People tie their self-worth to their net worth. They feel shame about their spending, guilt about their debt, and fear about their future. When you help someone change their relationship with money, you're not just changing their wallet. You're changing their identity. You're helping them go from feeling powerless to powerful. And that transformation is priceless. That's why people will pay premium prices for wealth building programs that truly deliver. Because it's not just a spreadsheet, emotional freedom, it's confidence, it's dignity. When you build a business around helping people win with money, you're not selling numbers, you're selling new narratives. There's also a spiritual side to this. Money is a multiplier. It makes you more of who you already are. If you're generous, you'll give more. If you're selfish, you'll hoard more. But if your heart is right and your business is built with integrity, you can use wealth as a tool for tremendous good. Teaching people how to make money honestly, ethically, and intelligently is not just a business. It's a calling. Because every person you help unlock financial peace becomes someone who can help others. You're not just creating clients. You're creating leaders, givers, builders. And that's a ripple effect that echoes across generations. It's important to remember that money is not evil. The love of money is what causes problems. But when money is in the hands of people with vision, wisdom, and purpose, it becomes a force for impact. So your business isn't just about teaching someone how to get rich. It's about teaching them how to become the kind of person who can handle wealth. That means teaching discipline, vision, stewardship, mindset. When someone grows in those areas, the money follows and stays. Because without character, wealth is temporary, but with character, wealth becomes legacy. In today's world, the need for financial education is growing faster than ever. Inflation is rising, economies are shifting, and job markets are uncertain. People are realizing that relying on one stream of income is no longer safe. It's risky. They want to build businesses, invest smarter, and create multiple income streams. They want to understand crypto, real estate, and high-income skills, but they don't want fluff. They want frameworks. They want guidance from someone who's been there. That's where you come in. When you build a wealth-focused business rooted in truth, results, and real-world strategy, you become a beacon for people who are lost in a financial system that never taught them how to win. Relationships are the foundation of every human experience, and because of that, any business that helps people improve their relationships will always be relevant, always be necessary, and always have a market. People may tolerate dysfunction in many areas of life, but when it comes to love, family, friendship, or even professional relationships, they will eventually reach a breaking point. That breaking point creates demand. Demand for coaches, counselors, mentors, and guides who can help restore connection, heal communication, rebuild trust, and bring peace where there's been tension. The truth is, most of life's problems are relationship problems wearing a different outfit. Business problems, in many cases, are people problems. Financial problems can stem from relationship misalignment. Emotional problems often trace back to relational wounds. Fix the relationship, and you often fix everything else with it. People deeply desire connection. We are wired to relate. From the moment we're born, we're reaching out, looking for touch, eye contact, voice, safety. That need never goes away. We long to be seen, heard, known, and accepted. When a business meets that need in any form, it becomes a lifeline, whether it's helping couples avoid divorce, helping parents raise emotionally healthy children, helping leaders build stronger teams, or helping singles navigate the complexities of dating. These are not luxury services. These are essentials for a functional, fulfilling life. Because when relationships suffer, everything else begins to crack. This is why the relationship business is so powerful. It's rooted in real pain and real desire. People don't come to you because they're bored. They come to you because something in their heart is breaking. Their home is tense. Their partnership is silent. Their friendships are fading. Or they're successful in business but lonely in life. These are not minor concerns. These are core human experiences, and they will always pay attention when someone offers the possibility of transformation in this area. This is not transactional, it's transformational. And if you can help people repair, restore, and rebuild the relationships that matter most, you will never run out of work, clients, or opportunities. When someone is in relational pain, they are not thinking logically. They're thinking emotionally, and emotion drives action. When a couple is on the edge of divorce, they will spend money, time, and energy to avoid that pain. When a parent sees their child withdrawing, acting out, or showing signs of depression, they will do whatever it takes to fix it. When someone feels isolated, unloved, or misunderstood, they will invest in anything that promises connection, clarity, or belonging. This creates a business environment where the need is not just strong, it's urgent. And when your message speaks directly to that urgency with empathy and authority, people move. Another reason this type of business never fails is because the relationship space is vast and multidimensional. You can specialize in marriage and couples work, focusing on communication, intimacy, and conflict resolution. You can work with parents on conscious parenting, discipline without shame, and emotional intelligence. You can coach single professionals on dating with purpose, overcoming heartbreak, and building strong self-worth. You can enter the corporate world and train leaders on building cohesive teams, managing workplace conflict, and improving emotional intelligence in leadership. You can focus on friendships, family dynamics, blended families, or even cross-cultural communication. There is no shortage of need because wherever people exist, relationships exist. And wherever relationships exist, there is room for healing, growth, and improvement. Most people were never taught how to do relationships well. They learned through trial and error, often in environments that were broken, toxic, or emotionally disconnected. They carry wounds from childhood, betrayal from past, partners and patterns they don't even recognize are sabotaging their current relationships. So when someone shows up with a process, when someone says, I see you, I get it, and I can help, it feels like oxygen. It feels like hope. That's the gift a business like this provides. It gives people hope that change is possible, that love can be repaired, that communication can flow again, and that loneliness doesn't have to last forever. This kind of business also lends itself to longevity and deep client relationships. Because when someone trusts you to help them in the most vulnerable area of their life, their relationships, that trust often lasts for years. They come back when they get married, when they have kids, when they start businesses, when they face new challenges. You become more than a service provider. You become a guide, a trusted voice. And that level of connection creates word-of-mouth referrals, long-term clients, and high retention. You're not selling a product. You're walking with people through their most meaningful transformations. That kind of value is hard to replace. There's also a compounding effect in relationship work. When you help one person or one couple, you're often impacting entire circles of influence. A restored marriage affects children, extended family, workplaces, and communities. A confident, emotionally healthy single person builds better friendships, chooses better partners, and avoids cycles of codependency. A healthy leader companies nurture stronger cultures and influences countless employees. The impact of your work is exponential. You're not just helping people relate better, you're changing the culture around them. That ripple effect is what gives this business a power beyond the transaction. It becomes legacy work. It becomes healing work. And in a world filled with brokenness, division, and disconnect, that work will never go out of style. Education is one of the few industries that transcends time, culture, economy, and technology. It doesn't matter how advanced society becomes, how many tools we build, or how fast the world moves, people will always need to learn. Learning is the foundation of all progress. Every invention, every business, every breakthrough came from someone learning something new. And because of that, any business that delivers true education, real transformation through knowledge, will never be out of demand. The hunger for education isn't just intellectual, it's deeply emotional. Because when people feel stuck, overwhelmed, or uncertain, what they're really looking for is not just answers, it's understanding. And when you can take someone from confusion to clarity, from ignorance to insight, you don't just educate them, you empower them. The need for education is not limited to children sitting in a classroom. It's broader, deeper, and more urgent. Adults are constantly seeking answers. Entrepreneurs want to learn how to scale. Employees want to upgrade their skills to stay relevant. Parents want to raise their children wisely. Leaders want to communicate with impact. Creatives want to master their craft. Investors want to understand the market. And countless people across the globe are tired of waiting for someone else to teach them. They want to learn now. That urgency creates a tidal wave of opportunity for anyone who can simplify complex ideas, communicate with impact, and guide people from point A to point B through a structured process of learning. People are no longer content with traditional education systems. They've realized that getting a degree doesn't always mean getting results. They've seen classmates graduate with honors and end up in debt and confusion. They want education that works, education that applies, that solves problems, that creates outcomes. That's why online courses, coaching programs, masterminds, and mentorship platforms are exploding, because people would rather pay for a focused, results-based program that helps them start a business or lose weight or fix their mindset, then sit through 4 years of theory they'll never use. This shift is permanent, and if your business helps people learn something they value in a way that's effective and engaging, then you've built a platform that will always have purpose. But education isn't just about information, it's about transformation. The internet is full of information. A simple Google search can give you 1,000 answers to any question. But people aren't overwhelmed because they have too little information. They're overwhelmed because they have too much and they don't know what's true, what's useful, or where to begin. That's where your business comes in. If you can organize information in a way that is structured, filtered, and focused on outcomes, you become a guide in the chaos. You become the bridge between where people are and where they want to be. And people will pay for that bridge, not because they're lazy, but because their time and energy are valuable, and your guidance saves them both. There's also deep trust built in education-based businesses. When someone learns from you, they're opening their mind. They're admitting they don't know something. That's vulnerability. And when you meet that vulnerability with clarity, compassion, and excellence, you become a trusted voice in their life. That trust opens doors to more opportunities. Follow-up products, premium coaching, referrals, collaborations, and long-term customer relationships. When someone learns from you once and gets results, they'll come back. They'll bring others. And they'll see you not just as a business, but as a source of transformation in their life. That's a powerful position to hold. The business of education also has one of the highest levels of leverage. You can package your knowledge once and impact thousands. You can create a course, a curriculum, a webinar, a book, or a coaching program and reach people across continents without being physically present. That's scalability. That's impact at scale. Most businesses depend on inventory, location, or time. But when you teach, your inventory is knowledge and your delivery is digital. That means low overhead, high margins, and global reach. Whether you're teaching how to master public speaking, how to code, how to improve relationships, or how to find purpose, your classroom can be the world. And that's a level of freedom and influence very few business models can offer. The demand for education will continue to grow as the world changes faster than ever before. Jobs that existed a decade ago are obsolete. New industries are emerging. People can no longer afford to stop learning. They need to reskill. They want to learn marketing, sales, leadership, communication, self-discipline, productivity, investing, emotional intelligence, all the things that weren't taught in school but are essential to thrive in life. If you can teach those things, if you can help someone become more capable, confident, and competent, you are giving them a tool that multiplies for the rest of their life, and people will invest in that because they know education is not a cost, it's a catalyst. Real education businesses don't just sell courses, they sell breakthroughs, they sell elevation. They move people from stuck to strong, from wandering to walking in purpose. That's why education is not just a good business, it's a mission. Because every person you teach is someone who now has more power, more vision, more ability to impact others. And that kind of business doesn't fade with time, it compounds, it expands, and it becomes a force that changes lives, communities, and eventually the world. Health is not just something people want. It's something they cannot live without. Without it, nothing else matters. You can have money, influence, and the best opportunities in the world, but if your body is breaking down, if your energy is low, if your mind is foggy, you won't be able to enjoy any of it. That's why any business that supports, restores, or optimizes health will never run out of clients. Health is a universal concern. It crosses age, race, gender, and income. Whether someone is rich or poor, young or old, they are constantly thinking about how to feel better, look better, live longer, and stay strong. That demand will never disappear because as long as people exist, their desire for health will exist too. People aren't just trying to avoid sickness. They're trying to reclaim vitality. They want energy when they wake up in the morning. They want to be strong in their body, sharp in their mind, and calm in their emotions. They want to be fully present with their kids, able to perform at work and still have something left at the end of the day. And they're waking up to the truth that health is not something you outsource to a hospital. It's something you build every day through your choices, your habits, and your mindset. That awakening creates an incredible opportunity for businesses that focus on wellness, nutrition, fitness, mental health, stress relief, holistic healing, and preventative care. The healthcare system in many parts of the world is designed to treat symptoms, not solve problems. People go in with pain and walk out with pills, but they're not getting answers. They're not getting sustainable healing. They're looking for root causes, not Band-Aids. They want someone to help them understand what's really happening in their body and how to take charge of it. That gap between what the system provides and what people truly want is the space where transformational health businesses thrive. Whether it's functional medicine, coaching, meal planning, fitness training, breath work, meditation, or detox protocols, if you can guide someone back to ownership of their health, you've created value that goes beyond a product. It becomes a lifeline. People are more health conscious today than ever before. They're reading labels, researching ingredients, questioning traditional narratives, and looking for better alternatives. They're investing in gym memberships, supplements, therapy, organic food, and alternative treatments because they know that prevention is better than cure. That mindset shift creates consistent demand for anyone in the health space who provides real results. It's not enough to just sell a supplement or a smoothie plan. What people want is transformation. They want to know, will this help me sleep better, reduce inflammation, stabilize my mood, boost my energy, or reduce my risk of chronic disease? If you can answer that with integrity, proof, and passion, your business will stand out in a crowded market. The emotional side of health cannot be underestimated. Health is deeply personal. It affects how people feel about themselves, how they show up in relationships, how they perform at work, and how they experience life. Someone who's tired, overweight, or anxious doesn't just have a health issue. They often have a confidence issue, a motivation issue, a fear that they're not in control. When you help someone regain their health, you're not just helping them fit into different clothes or lower their blood pressure. You're helping them regain belief in themselves. That emotional transformation is powerful, and it creates fierce loyalty. A person who feels seen, heard, and helped will keep coming back, and they'll tell others too. There are endless paths within the health business. You can specialize in weight loss, strength training, gut health, hormone balance, mental clarity, sleep optimization, emotional healing, or even recovery from trauma. You can build a coaching program, a digital product, a membership community, or a physical practice. The modalities are vast: yoga, Pilates, cold therapy, herbal medicine, chiropractic care, breathwork, sound healing, fasting protocols, mindset coaching. Every modality has its audience, and every audience has a pain they want to solve or a potential they want to reach. When you